welcome back to Rapid Fire Wargaming. We are back on Aurea's fate, the Imperial world that has been decimated by the Death Guard.
Well, I've been up against it so far.
Well, you have. I mean, the populace has been completely turned into zombies.
The populace are having a terrible time, but the Blood Angels are having a fun time.
Yeah, the Blood Angels are coming down to try and right some wrongs and to pry it from the Nurgly grasp of Grandfather Nurgle and his little buddies. This time round, we are playing a match play game of Kill Team. It is Domination, the mission, and we basically just have to hold a load of objectives and do some mission actions, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And what are we fighting over today?
We are fighting over a sort of Mechanicum complex that will benefit, again, the final battle in some way, whether that be an additional knight, a small knight, a Questoris knight, a Dominus knight, who knows, but it will all come true in the last battle.
Exactly. So the Mechanicus are sort of they've been repairing a knight in this facility. They've obviously been overtaken by whatever pox has killed all the people as well. Like the Mechanicus have fled or died. So they've left this knight. Repair.
That's the sort of in a mid state of repair.
Yeah, exactly.
So
and that's what we'll be fighting over today.
Yeah. So the Death Guard have come in to try and sort of boost their chances of the final battle.
Exactly. Everything to play for. Okay. We'll come back in a minute with the rosters we're going to be fighting with and our tac ops for this particular mission. Okay, here's my kill team for today. It's a Space Marine Intercessor fire team. 5 models. I've got 4 normal guys and a sergeant. The sergeant's got a thunderhammer and he's got a purity seal as part of his equipment. And I've also got a guy with an auxiliary grenade launcher who has 1 crack grenade and also another purity seal, which that's on my equipment points. They all have auto bolt rifles, so they'll be charging forward, spraying and praying, screaming the Emperor's name. Okay, I've chosen to select my tac ops from the Seek and Destroy archetype. These are the 3 I have selected. I'm not going to tell Garfield. He's so sneaky. So have a little pause, have a little read if you want to, and I'll be revealing these as and when I can score them.
Hi everyone, here is my Death Guard kill team for tonight. Starting from the left is my leader. He is a Plague Marine. He's got a Power Fist, a Bolt Gun and a Plague Knife. He has got Virulent Rounds and Mephitic Toxin, which we'll go through later. Moving on, we've got a Plague Marine Warrior, just as a standard Bolt Gun. And he's also got Virulent Rounds and Mephitic Toxin. In the middle there, we've got a Plague Surgeon who I am using as a icon bearer for today's mission, just like the last one. To his left, our right, is my Heavy Gunner. He's got a Blight Launcher. And then on the end there is another Plague Marine Warrior. He's also got Mephitic Toxin and Virulent Rounds. What I did forget to say there is the Plague Surgeon, also known as an icon bearer, has also got Virulent Rounds. Here are the Death Guard tac ops. As Sleepy Danvers said, I'm not going to read them out because he is an absolute power gamer. So, as he said, pause them, and I will reveal them as and when I score them. Fingers crossed.
Okay, this is the battlefield we'll be fighting over today. The mission is Domination. It's mission 2.3 from the Kill Team rulebook. And there's 5 objectives. The central objective is here. It's like a sort of data bank kind of thing that we're fighting over. And then there's these 4, 2 in each deployment zone. 1 here, 1 here, 1 there, and 1 there. The deployment zones actually come right up until about here. They're quite deep in, and we'll be fighting this way across the battlefield today. We basically get victory points at the end of a turning point if you hold 2 or more objectives, and also another victory point if you hold more than your opponent. And for each objective marker in your opponent's drop zone that is claimed by your kill team, you also get an additional victory point.
So, we have deployed. Death Guard are going first.
That's
next
right.
on?
Okay, so we've deployed here. I did a pre-game dash move with my sergeant to get him a bit further up the field. You chose to scout, didn't you? Which meant that
I did.
You can switch one of the engagement orders for one of your operatives in this first turning point. And as a result, that means you get to choose the initiative. And I believe you're going first.
I am going to go first.
Okay.
Try and get the jump on you.
So in turning point 1, we generated some command points. We both got leaders, so that's 2 points each, plus 1 for turning point 1. We also now play strategic ploys.
Yes. So the strategic ploys are these card things, aren't they?
No, sorry, I'm going to do Bolt of Discipline.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry, I'm going to do Bolt of Discipline as well for 1 CP.
There's a play guard equivalent, isn't there?
Yeah, which is Malicious Volleys.
Yeah, that's the one, yeah. Nice, cool. So that means we can do 2 shooting actions instead of 1.
Correct.
Which is good. And then, target reveal step. I have a target to reveal in the first turning point. What's it called? Challenge. It says, reveal this attack op in the target reveal step of the first turning point. Select 1 enemy operative and 1 friendly operative. If that enemy operative is incapacitated by that friendly operative, you score 1 BP. And if I do it in combat, then I get another BP.
That's pretty fantastic.
Oh, what's it going to be? I think it should be my sergeant. And he is going to challenge... Your sergeant. Come on, it's got to be done. It's got to be done. It's got to be done. The glory of Sanguinius.
And for my one, Tom,
yeah,
I'm going to do challenge.
Nice.
Reveal this attack top in the target reveal step.
It's the same one.
Turning point.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So I'm just basically hoping I'll shoot him.
Okay, so we both.
Yeah.
So you choosing your leader as well then?
No, do you have to select one?
Yeah.
No, you don't.
Oh, sorry.
It can be done by anyone.
Is it called challenge?
Yeah.
Select 1 enemy operative and 1 friendly operative.
Oh, so it is.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I will do it with my leader as well.
Oh, it's on, baby!
It's good that I know what I'm doing, eh?
No, it's epic. It's epic. It's a grudge match. The two leaders seek each other out. Get smashed.
Cool. Hope you enjoyed that slickness of the operation. And yeah.
That's it. We'll crack on.
Garfield activates his heavy gunner first. In the scouting step, he gave an infiltrate order to this operative, which means he can change the conceal order it currently has to an engage order. So it stands up, it uses the claim ground mission objective to take the objective next to it, and then open fire with its light launcher. It shoots at the intercessor sergeant in front of it. The intercessor sergeant is down to 10 wounds remaining. Next, Danvers activates his sergeant whilst he's still alive. The sergeant performs a move action and moves forwards onto the central objective. He then does a claim ground action, which means that that objective belongs to the Blood Angels, and then opens fire on the heavy gunner in front of him. Some mediocre hitting and some good saving from Garfield means that no wounds go through. Next up, Garfield activates his Icon Bearer. He uses the Icon of Decay unique action, which basically means that friendly operatives next to the Icon Bearer can re-roll disgustingly resilient rolls of 1s and 2s. He fires at the sergeant. 1 critical hit and 2 normal hits go through. Danvers retains 1 defense dice for cover, then rolls 2 normal saves. 1 critical hit goes through, doing 4 damage. The sergeant's down to 6 wounds remaining. Danvers activates the intercessor with the auxiliary grenade launcher. He does the claim ground action to take the objective. He then moves forwards into the cover in front of him. He puts a crack grenade into his auxiliary grenade launcher and fires at the heavy gunner. He gets 3 hits and uses a CP to reroll 1 of the hits. That's 1 crit and 3 normal hits. The AP rule means that Garfield only gets to roll 2 defense dice instead of 3. He retains 1 as a normal save for cover, but 2 hits go through, 1 crit and 1 normal hit, doing 9 potential damage. A poor disgustingly resilient roll means that 7 damage go through. Garfield activates his champion, who moves so that he can see this intercessor sergeant in front of him. The champion then fires his bolt gun, hitting on 2s, 1 crit and 3 hits, and some poor saving means that the Intercessor Sergeant is blown away. This means that Garfield achieves the Headhunter and Challenge tactical ploy. Danvers activates another Intercessor who charges forwards into cover. Thanks to the Bolter Discipline strategic ploy, he can fire his auto bolt rifle twice. The Ceaseless special rule means he gets to re-roll hit rolls of 1. Garfield's heavy gunner takes a lot of damage. The second round of fire is enough to finish him off. Garfield activates another Plague Marine who moves into a better firing position. He fires his bolt gun at the Intercessor with the auxiliary grenade launcher. Thanks to the cover and some poor shooting, the Intercessor gets off unscathed. Malicious Volleys means that Garfield can shoot again. This time, the Intercessor takes 3 damage. Another Intercessor is activated. He charges forwards into the shadow of the Titanic war machine, and fires his auto bolt rifle at the Plague Marine Sergeant. 1 critical hit and 2 normal hits go through. 1's retained for cover, and 7 damage goes through before the Disgusting Resilient saves. Garfield only makes 1 Disgusting Resilient save, 6 damage is done. The Intercessor then fires again thanks to Bolter Discipline, but no additional damage is done. Garfield activates his last Plague Marine. He claims the objective, then moves into a firing position. He opens up against the Intercessor with the auxiliary grenade launcher. 3 damage goes through. Danvers activates his last Intercessor, who moves onto the objective and claims it, and then shoots at the Plague Marine champion. Three damage goes through, leaving the champion on 4 wounds remaining.
So there is the end of turn 1.
Yeah.
Do we call it turn 1 in Kill Team?
Turning point 1, if
Turning
you
point
specific,
1.
but you know, it's all good.
So what I did, I remained pretty stationary in my turn there. So I've claimed this objective, and in this mission you hold it basically until your opponent takes it off of you.
Yeah, exactly.
So I secured that objective. My heavy gunner actually got killed. I've secured this objective, and my champion is pretty heavily injured there. So we'll have to see how the game goes. And whilst Tom Sargent was pretty heroic in charging into the middle there and securing this middle objective, he did actually give up 3 victory points.
Yeah.
Because I had the challenge.
Yeah.
And I also just noticed I had Headhunter.
Yes.
So because I killed him in the first battle round, I get 1, and I get 1 for the mission itself. So puts me on a total of 4.
Very nice. Yeah. That's it. He sold his life
Sold his life dearly.
He did, didn't he?
Emperor. So yeah, wait, your turn, Tom.
Yeah, so I did that. I charged him forward. My idea was to get my hammer into range. Now my hammer's dead, so you know that's all good. But he did get the objective, which is useful in the first turn. It means that even though Tom's scoring a lot of tac ops, hopefully I can start getting victory points back just for the mission.
Yeah.
And then a few wounds were taken off. The champion, he's not quite dead yet, of course, but hopefully in later turns he might fall to the gunfire. And then I've moved a couple more Marines up to get ready to contest this middle objective that's going to become really important quite soon.
I think that's going to become very important as the game goes on. Do we want to roll to see who gets priority?
Let's do it. Okay, let's do it.
Well, big 3 and 4. So that means Tom gets priority.
Okay.
And
also we can do things at this point. We can do spending of strategic ploys, revealing other tactical tac ops if we need to, but I don't need to reveal any right now. So the one I'm going to do again, because it seems to be really good, is just roll to discipline.
And I'm going to do the same, the malicious volleys, which is a death guard.
So it means we've got 1 extra CP at the beginning of turning point 2, and we've now spent them immediately on this strategic ploy. There you go. So that's the state of play at the moment.
Yeah.
Danvers activates an intercessor who charges forwards into the middle of the battleground to help hold that objective. The Inter then shoots into the Plague Marine champion, taking him down to 2 wounds remaining. The operative shoots again. This time the fire is enough to bring down the Plague Marine sergeant. This scores Danvers, the headhunter, tack op for 2 victory points. Garfield activates another Plague Marine, who fires into the intercessor with the auxiliary grenade launcher. Thanks to malicious volleys, he can fire twice. The intercessor goes down. Finally, the Plague Marine moves back into cover. Danvers moves another intercessor forward. He opens fire on the icon bearer. Two damage go through. He fires again. Thanks to Ceaseless, he can re-roll the 2 hit rolls of 1. After discussing the resilient saves, the icon bearer is down to 8 wounds remaining. Next up, Garfield activates his icon bearer. He does the icon of decay action to allow him to re-roll 1s and 2s on his disgustingly resilient. Then he uses malicious volleys to fire twice at the intercessor in the centre of the battlefield. Some great save rolls from Danvers and some poor shooting from Garfield means that no damage is done. Danvers activates another intercessor who moves and dashes forwards and receives the conceal order. Garfield activates his last Plague Marine and using malicious volleys fires twice into the intercessor in the centre of the battlefield. After 2 rounds of shooting, the intercessor takes 7 wounds.
Turning point 2 absolutely was an absolute bloodbath. It's an absolute shooting alley. So my turn there, because in this mission I held those objectives, I didn't have to reclaim them or boot them. This is now the technical term that Rapid Fire Wargaming chose. So I literally just stood there and sprayed as much lead downfield as I could. Unfortunately, my champion bought it, but I did actually get one of these ploy things, which is Deadly Marksman, which was this guy here, was my marksman, who popped off a Marine who was standing by here. So pretty tight stuff at the moment, because with that, and the amount of objectives I hold, it takes me to 6 victory points. And because Tom holds 2 and more, he gets 2.
Yeah.
It takes him to 6 victory points.
Yeah, because I actually got Headhunter this turn as well,
Yes.
which was 2 points.
Because he achieved it in the second turn, which happens that you can get it in the first or second turn. So
yeah, so 2 in the first turning point, 2 for that, and then 2 for this turning point is 6.
What about your turn there, Tom?
Yeah.
Charging forward and reinforcing that middle.
Exactly, that's the like, just hold down his objective, put this guy into a conceal order so he can maybe sort of like, hide for a little bit at least in that turning point. And then I'm just trying to put as many bodies as I can on it to sort of last me till the next turn, basically.
I think that's it. It's going to come down to the wire, this one, I think. So.
Okay, so we, in terms of command points, we got 1 back, but then we both did what we've been doing.
Yeah,
every
he spent it. It seems to be. I know combat can be quite brutal in Kill Team, but me and you don't seem to be doing a lot of it.
No, just all shooting.
All just shooting. So we both, as Tom just said, my version is malicious volleys. Yours is
bold to discipline.
Bold to discipline. Yeah. So we've got no command points. Straight into turn priority.
Nice. Let's do it.
Or 6.
I can't win because ties would win. So I'll roll it anyway.
Roll it anyway. Oh, there we go.
Yeah, so that's initiative for Mr. Garfield.
me.
Garfield activates a Plague Marine. Using malicious volleys, he fires once at the intercessor in the centre of the battlefield. Some long overdue critical hits means that the intercessor goes down. The Plague Marine's second round of shooting goes into the intercessor next to the Imperial Knight. Some great critical hitting means 8 damage goes through. The intercessor returns fire at this point into the icon bearer. Because he's injured, he's hitting on 4s instead of 3s, and this means less hits get through. Even 2 rounds of shooting isn't enough to finish off the icon bearer. Garfield now activates a Plague Marine who leaps up on top of the packaging crate in front of him. Even though the intercessor in front of him has a conceal order, because the Plague Marine has a vantage point, he can still shoot down into that intercessor. Garfield shoots twice with malicious volleys, taking that intercessor down to 5 wounds remaining. Another injured intercessor. Danvers moves the injured intercessor so he has line of sight on Garfield's injured icon bearer. Using bolter discipline, he fires twice. The icon bearer is down to 4 wounds remaining. 2 crits go through. Garfield manages to remove one of them. 4 damage goes through. Amazingly, Garfield gets 2 disgustingly resilient saves, leaving his icon bearer on 1 wound remaining. This is big. The icon bearer then moves and dashes forwards. Because of his icon bearer's special ability, he counts as 1 extra APL when contesting an objective. This means he can steal this objective off the Blood Angels.
So that's turning point 3. Pretty clutch turn there, mate, isn't it?
It's pretty intense, isn't it? That's amazing. So at the very end of that, a real big sort of swing happened, didn't it? I almost managed to kill your icon bearer. He got just down to 1 wound. You had to roll 2 disgusting resilience to keep him alive, and you did.
I did. I kept him alive, and
so
because
that's totally awesome.
And because he's got a special rule, when he counts as being 1 higher for APL when he's near an objective.
Yeah. So for people who don't know how objective control works in Kill Team, you basically count up the APL characteristic of each model. So a normal Marine has an APL limit of 3, AP limit of 3. But yeah, as sorry, Garfield, I interrupted you, but Garfield was just explaining that his icon bearer is his special rule, counts as 1 extra. So in this situation, he controls that objective and could just come in and take it off me.
And that little exclamation mark is just denoting,
so we know that I hold it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah, so it's pretty good shooting again. I think I had the upper hand in that turn. I think purely because of my disgusting resilient rolls.
Yeah,
kept me in it.
Came in exactly. So it's kind of very narrative. It's like, you take a load of damage, but you're still trucking. And this great rule that Death Guard have, which means that they don't count as being injured, is really beneficial as well. Because I was losing a few hits here and there because I'm injured. Both of my guys are injured, and I'm not hitting on 3s anymore. I'm hitting on 4s. So yeah, it's pretty intense.
Yeah, it's pretty intense stuff. So hopefully we'll see what happens in turning point 4.
And this is something again where we might come down, Garfield, to the initiative roll.
So we also get 1 CP.
To spend on what?
What are you going to spend it on? You're going to spend it on the punchy one or the shooty one?
What's the other option? I could also keep it. The
Reroll
reason
that,
being that if I keep it, I can use only in Death Does Duty End, which means that if you get initiative and kill one of my guys, he can still then activate the next turn.
That's very good.
But I don't know. Sounds a bit.
Pressure's on.
I don't know. Anyway, yeah. I think I'll use.
Those ones now.
I think I'll use. I'll use the punchy one.
Always on punchy, which is called.
Hateful Assault.
Mine's Hateful Assault.
It's called.
Something punchy.
Something punchy.
It's the equivalent of Bog's discipline, but it means that I can do 2 fight activations instead of. Yeah.
That's right. So I'll use my shooty one, which is AKA.
This seems like a terrible idea because in combat, just so you know, Kill Team is very deadly.
Oh,
so
brutal,
it could quite easily. I could just go in, unless I crit you first turn and you don't. Oh, I'm going to do Bog discipline.
Oh, he's reverting back to Bog discipline.
Bog discipline. It's just better.
Okey-doke. So now, first turn.
Right,
Go on, Tom, you come on first. Oh, it's out the tray. Doesn't count.
Oh,
it's out the tray. Doesn't count.
I'm going to pieces. That's all right. They've been quite low so far.
3. Bang in the middle of the 2.
Oh, yeah,
first turn, yeah, so 4. So
that's really big.
Priority retained with the Death Guard.
Garfield activates the Icon Bearer first. He fires into the Intercessor in front of him, who is so close he can't retain saves for cover anymore. He's still alive, just. Using malicious volleys, Garfield fires again, hoping to finish off the Intercessor in front of him. Finally, enough damage is done. That Intercessor dies. For his final action point, the Icon Bearer moves out of charge range from the other Intercessor. In order to draw this game, this final Intercessor needs to move forward onto the objective, kill the Icon Bearer, and then claim that objective. Can he do it? He charges forward and then unleashes on the Icon Bearer. Some poor shooting and a great last-minute critical save from the Icon Bearer keeps him alive on 1 wound. The game goes to the Death Guard, but Danvers tries to finish off the Icon Bearer out of spite. He fails to kill him. The final Intercessor is brought down by withering gunfire from a Plague Marine. That's the end of the game.
Okay, there it is.
There you go.
Congratulations.
Oh, cheers, mate. I needed a win.
Oh, mate, well, you deserved that one. It was epic.
That was a great game.
Yeah, so much back and forth, so many pivotal dice rolls. You know, a lot of people down to 1 wound.
Yeah, sort of
surviving.
the noble Blood Angels sort of charging forward.
Yeah,
and the sort of relentless Death Guard just standing still and just
unleashing
full auto, just spraying.
Yeah, amazing. Yeah, so I managed to leap up, get an early lead with the sergeant, but then put him in harm's way, which was obviously a tactically bad thing to do because it meant that the guy you wanted to shoot, who also a lot of your attack ops centered around my sergeant. He was right out in the middle. He'd activated and he was like there, sort of on the objective, so he became a really good target. So that was great. I got a lead in the mission victory points, but then you took a good chunk of tac ops.
If it wasn't for the tac ops, I would have lost that game. Just because I think it finished 10-8, didn't it?
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Without the tac ops, I would have lost.
It came down to I could have made it. I could have got a draw if I'd shot that amazing your hero. Well, anti-hero.
He's just just amazing. Like sort of the Icon Bearer, or I've been using a Plague Surgeon.
Yeah,
he's just really good.
Yeah, and that thing where you have an extra, you count as being 1 extra on a point.
Yeah,
is really nice as well. You can take points off Space Marines, which is really cool.
And I thought actually in this game, apart from that, the end there where I made my disgustingly resilient rolls to actually keep him alive, I thought up until that point my DR rolls, disgustingly resilient rolls, were actually probably subpar.
Yeah, they were. Even with
my re-rolls, I was like, it's just
that's
going
what caused you to lose your champion and the other guy, wasn't it?
My failure to get the disgustingly resilient rolls, but yeah, they are tough to kill, them Plague Marines.
Absolutely, and you have 2 full ones left on, uninjured ones, and they're doing a whole heap of damage.
Yeah, they are. So especially not virulent rounds. Here we go. Let's have a look.
Malicious volleys, is that one?
Malicious volleys and the sort of equipment that I bought.
Oh yeah. So Garfield got some great equipment where his crits with his bolt weaponry gave him an extra damage.
Virulent rounds. That's it.
Yeah. That was really nice. A couple of times it was
like critical damage.
Should I cancel out this normal save or a crit? And there's crit was like doing 4
So yeah, a critical hit with a bolt gun does 5 damage, which is massive.
Good. Especially when the intercessors are like harder to kill. They've got big,
yeah. So at the end, then it was really punching through the armour. Wasn't it?
Exactly. Totally awesome. And so there it is. The knight might be coming to your aid.
Yeah, so
suitably corrupted in the time.
Yeah, maybe. Or, maybe I've corrupted your knight, so it won't be in the final battle. But we'll see. We'll see how it all pans out in the final battle.
Amazing. So we're really hoping you're enjoying these Kill Team missions. If you are, drop us a comment because they're a bit of a faff to edit. If I'm honest.
Yeah, they are.
If you're not enjoying them, let me know, and we'll just play this off camera and have
exactly.
fun.
They do take a long time to edit, but we are really enjoying making them. So if you want to see more of this, please say, and we'll continue to do it. And if not, we'll stop and we'll go back to normal battle reports.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll get half a dozen views. But if you are enjoying it, please let us know. Like and subscribe and all that business.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. And we'll catch you. I think we can reveal now that the next mission is not a Kill Team mission. It's the narrative battle.
It's the big
played
battle.
a few of these. We thought, we could do another couple because we really want to. It'd be fun.
Yeah.
If everyone thinks they're a bit lame, then
it would have been a lot of wasted work.
Exactly.
So if you do like it, we'll have a think of
one.
Yeah, we'll have a think of another narrative. We've got loads of armies that we can use and do it. And
it's amazing because you just need a handful of models. So we've got loads of kill teams up on the cabinet.
So the final mission is the assault.
Exactly, the assault on the chapel of Saint Aurea. The kind of cathedral where the last resting place of the saint who this world is named after. There's a whole load of nasty stuff the Plague Marines are doing in order to sort of bring Nurgle into this plane.
So we're trying to open up a rift into Nurgle's garden that will flood this sector, the sort of Baal Secunda sector.
Yeah.
Baal Secunda sector this is in.
If
you have a look at the map from the first one, that will tell you exactly where it is. It's happening.
Imperium Nihilus.
Yeah, so if you're up to date on the fluff, Typhus actually left the battle with Mortarion against Guilliman. He actually left Mortarion alone.
The mount.
So yeah, exactly. But he's actually, I think probably Nurgle's more favoured now. So he's actually the reason he left was to come to Aurea.
Yeah, exactly.
So there we go.
So build our own stuff. The Blood Angels will then be obviously trying to stop them from getting into the cathedral, and that'll be deciding the the outcome of the narrative.
And will Dante answer the call?
He's got it.
He's only around the corner.
He's like, get on the bus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But yeah, so there'll be some big heroes, some big machines. There'll be a lot of fighting. There'll be tides and tides of poxwalkers.
Some random narrative stuff.
There'll be some heroic stuff like the Blood Angels got a Lamenter's relic that's going to cause serious amounts of damage. But Lamenters are unlucky, so it might cause a bit of damage to you as well.
Do I want help from the Lamenters?
Their heart's in the right place. And but yeah, let us know.
See you next time.